Hello, this is Vaughn Clement. We're going to be covering part one of an application tour. This application tour is for customer relationship management, Sales Force management. The purpose of this application was to provide the marketing and proposal development part of the company a application where they can track all elements of the proposal development, working from the lead all the way through, and then providing accurate information as far as anything that was part of the requirements or developing different things that may cause contract breaches or anything that may be a sensitive item that needs to be tracked as a part of a proposal development. In addition, this is also used to manage the sales force to make sure that they meet all the requirements and follow all the guidelines set up by the marketing department. Let's go ahead and take a start in here. We're going to go to the customer screen. The customer screen in this application basically documents a primary contact within a company. And in this particular case, it's Mr. John Smith again, which is one of my favorites. We also have a picture, or the official photo of a client. This is actually derived from the Google Maps, where you can actually see a picture of the company, and we copied it right off of Google Maps and pasted it in here so we have a view of what the actual company looks like. This way the employees within your company have a way of seeing the actual company. Now, a lot of the things that are covered in this particular presentation or tour are also covered in more detail in the user guide, and we recommend that anybody that is using this application reads the user guide before proceeding to work with this application. We talked about the primary person in the contact. This might be the president or the chief engineer or somebody in a company that you're working with where you're developing the proposal. The part below this is the contact group. What the contact group is, these are the individuals in the company that you're working with that are also the primary contact and each individual in the company that you may be working with. This is covered again once more in detail in the user guide as far as how to set up these fields. You can see that the different fields in this are basically the contact information and things that you would need to know as far as an individual employee, and it gives you a field down here for client comments that are related directly to these contacts. Okay. This is an overall comment field for the company itself, where you keep a brief running account of different things that are related to the company that are specific about background of that particular company. These help people that are in the company of your company to read about and learn a little bit about the company itself. And this may be very valuable for your marketing group. Let's go to leads next and talk about leads. Leads are records that you create individually and then use the drop-down list here to pick the company for that lead. And basically what you're doing is, as a lead comes in, you're finding out who brought in the lead, the date, and who took the lead, and what the origin of the lead is. It might be related to a current project or a new project. If there's an RFP coming in, what date are you going to get it, and what proposal due date are you looking at as far as finishing it? These things use drop-down calendars and drop-down lists to make them easy to identify the dates and information that you want to input. This particular screen is used when you're breaking down a RFP and you're putting in the requirements list. You're taking the requirements and verifying that your company can do these items, and making sure that you break down each individual one by an example and verification of each one of these that are from this field to this field. And then if there are action items either for a company or vendors or somebody else outside of your company, you can assign or build a list of required people that may have to provide information about these requirements. The proposal review at the top, This is where you can take the actual narrative of the proposal and either copy or stream it into here to go through it as you're building the 3 blocks below to find the requirements based on the proposal. This, in many cases, is called boilerplate. What you're basically doing is you're building boilerplate for a future proposal or being able to come back here and review what you actually used to build the proposal as far as requirements were concerned to verify that you covered all the things that were in your RFP. The balance of the items that we're going to be showing you are after the original lead comes in, that you may start doing things, for example, like business track. What business track is, after the lead comes in, anything that you make contact with the company that you're going to be doing the proposal for, you want to track all of those items that may be promised or implied that you're going to be doing. Business track is important for one reason. It's a kind of a missed thing in a lot of companies where if somebody within your company makes a promise or says that they're going to provide a certain thing, you should absolutely document everything that is either promised or implied that will be given to the company that you're working with in the proposal. This gives what I used to call a liar's track, because in some particular cases, and especially when I worked with engineering groups, what happens is either project managers or somebody in the proposal company that we're writing for the proposal was either promised something or they said they were going to give us something or agreed to something. So you want to track those, because after the contract is written and signed, if there's any breach in the contract, you have a tracking system to go back and verify date, time, person, and everything that was related to that particular item that is in breach or is questioned, or a deliverable that was promised and was not promised or was not in the contract. Okay. The next place we're going to go is we're going to look at the actual marketing, and this is where you're actually developing the step-through process for a proposal. In this particular case, what we're doing is we have a proposal track based on the proposal number, proposal start date, due date, and proposal delivery actual date. If you're going to assign the Sales Force group to this, you can assign elements of this project to an individual person in the Sales Force, and then track each item that you're assigning on this proposal or whatever proposal in this screen is being tracked. And you want to keep track of the narrative of what you actually have accomplished. In this case, we're looking at an outside sales and a cold call. This could relate to a lead that is coming in, where we're going back and verifying that there is an actual proposal or RFP coming. And you want to document each part of that process as you go through. This is key to developing the proposal in the marketing group. As you have a proposal history and you add a proposal, whatever you add to the proposal area when you click on this, which is explained in the user guide, you're adding a list of proposals for this organization, and it's a history of all the proposals that have been provided to this company. You can select a different company by jumping over here and clicking this icon and move between proposals if you wanted to compare either notes from a different company that might be related to this, or a look-alike type of a proposal that you may be doing with a similar product or service that you're providing. There's a marketing comments area over here that are overview comments of the projects and the person that you're assigning to it, as far as important and liability issues that you want to cover to make sure that the proposal is done correctly. Let's go ahead and look really quick here at the actual proposal screen. This is the bid and proposal screen, and basically in this screen what we're looking at is breaking down all the costs, and you can have an unlimited number of them. You can assign a proposal material cost, for example, and then put in overhead, which is the 100% of the project plus 30, which is your margin. And based on what you add here, it will generate a number based on the margin that you gave it. These are proposal portals where you can look at the individual records, and you can see that it has what it called a queue, basically, that shows you information about that individual item that you're looking at. Up here, as you're developing your proposal, you'll see the grand total of the proposal, the price grand total, and the net margin based on the inputs that you make here, and another comments area basically tracking how you came to the numbers that you did. Typically, this information that is in this area comes from your operations group that is actually performing the tasks. Up here, this would be a list of the people that are working on the proposal, and this is a reflection of who and what they are going to be doing as a part of the proposal. For example, who's developing material cost or whatever, and this is an endless text field, so you can add whatever number of people you need to put in there. Okay, that being understood now, let's go ahead and take a look at the meetings. Meetings are places where you organize an agenda and meeting points, who's going to be at the meeting, any actions that may be assigned, the action person, the action type, and how it's supposed to be completed as far as the status, the description of the item that is going to be delivered or needs to be done, and the action due date for that particular item that you're working with. These are individual records by individual tasks that are being assigned as far as meeting notes. So if you're doing one or more things in one meeting, you can continue scrolling these down. These are scroll fields, so you can add additional things for this meeting all the way through the entire process of the meeting, and then you can have as many meeting notes as you want to. As you can see up here, we have the date, time, and duration that is supposed to be set up for the meeting. There's also memos that you can send out that are like the little pink slips that you kept in your company where you add a phone message. These are actually printable, and you can send these out to people as far as reminders. Going back to meetings, let's cover the last thing, which is document track. Document track is fairly important to any company in that you have to deliver certain documents or have elective documents that you may want to send out that are marketing related. This builds a list of all the documents as far as document control that you are using, sending, or building that are sent to the client. This is a good way to manage your documents to make sure that if a revision control is important and even general marketing documents are sent out, you know who they were sent it to, what date they were sent, and comments about why they were sent. So this is obviously a very important thing to keep control of revisions and control of any kind of a document that's sent to the client. Okay, going back to the home page, this is the conclusion of a tour for the CRM and PMs for Sales Force. And this is a tour that covers all of the aspects of managing and tracking a proposal and bid system. Thank you.